it's one full 4/4 measure. So
No, that's just one beat.
That's one beat.
That's
okay,
just
good.
one
Glad we
beat. So it's
clarified
just
that. So it'd be
over,
like,
yeah,
blah, blah.
3 more times.
Like that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So
Is this doing the kick on every beat?
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that drum beat it's so basically what we're going for here is swing, and it's a concept that we've been working on this whole time with the whole. So now with your shuffle, the reason the shuffle is so important is it teaches you this feel. So the shuffle is 3 beats: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. Now the drum beat that you're going to program is that, only it's kick and snare, rest, snare, kick and snare, rest, snare. So it's really, what I'm trying to get at is the whole concept of swing is you have a quarter note. Quarter note is not swinging. The quarter note is just there. So that's going to be your kick drum. Boom, 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 boom. The thing that swings is the 8th note. So instead of playing, if this is your beat, instead of subdividing the beat in 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, even, that's even, right? That's Bach. 1, 2, 1, 2, right?
Yes.
So this is taking that second beat, the one in the middle, and moving it over by a triplet. So instead of 8 notes, you're actually playing triplets, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're playing on 1 and 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it'd be, we're merrily skipping now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right?
Yes.
You notice in the Bach example, the quarter notes are not different from one to the other.
Mm-hmm.
They're the same because the quarter notes are not swinging. Only the 8s are swinging when you say swing. And the reason that's important is in this tune, all the 8s are swung. So you only have what I think of as downbeats and upbeats. Downbeats and upbeats. So the downbeats are where the kick is in your example. So ba, 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 ba. And then the upbeats are the 3rd beat of the triplet. Boom, chapel, 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 chapel. Okay? So
it's the and.
It's the and, right. Yeah. But instead of going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and so you're just sort of merrily skipping along. And to make matters further confusing, when we write it in a tune is generally straight or swung. Generally, when you write it down. In this case, it's just swing. And what that means is, instead of writing out all the triplets, which would cost a lot of ink and it's really confusing to look at, you just write it as it would be straight and write swing on the top, right? Yes. So it's just easier to look at. Now, when you're doing that, you have to be really careful to identify all the upbeats. That's really all this is. The bass line in the beginning is both. It's got, so you have your kick drum, and then it's got, so the first exercise that I want you to do here, just for the beginning, is on your right hand you're going to tap the shuffle before you even play with the drum machine. Just try to get this going, ba, 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 and so the cool thing is your thumb is on the swung beat and your pinky is on the straight part, right? So if you can get your brain to go, say down, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. once
different message to the pinky than to the thumb.
Yeah, I mean they're together, but yeah, that kind of thing. So I mean, yeah, this the most difficult thing about this whole part when your right hand comes in is you're really doing three things, in my opinion, because you're going to be actually holding your thumb down and bouncing with your pinky, and then you get a third thing going on.
A third rhythmical place to hit. Yeah.
Third thing to really think about. So, again, I've written it just in eighth notes so you can see it, but
that's a start. That's definitely a start.
Yeah. So but if you write 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 end,
yeah,
especially when the right hand comes in, just 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So you can see where the beats are, where the strong beats are, the down beats, and then you can see where the up beats are. So those are the ones that you're going to swing. So I would just start with that first, the first line and the second line. Yeah. If you get that feel down and it feels good, then you can push ahead. Start to apply this. Because after that, all hell breaks
different
loose.
Notes
but
chords and stuff.
I'll play that. I already played the first line. We're gonna do now the second line. So if I go. I should be holding that. Okay, that's actually just the first two measures. That repeats. That's the thing that you really, once you get that, it'll start to feel right. So, and the way the bass line and the right hand works is so cool because this is one of those mysterious things of how to play rock and roll piano that people like Elton John style, and like Journey style, and like everything 70s rock style piano. This is a really good example of it. And it really has to do with how the bass line is supporting the chords. And it's this weird, you can't be like, well, the bass line plays where the chord isn't, or they play together. It's kind of this mix of both, but it's like a language. You have to just know when it's appropriate and when it's not. But this is a really good example of it to learn, to start to understand. Because basically you're pumping away on the rhythm, and then you do these little things that support it. And when do you do that? Depends, but it's cool how they fit together like this. You know, like that Nathaniel Radcliffe.
Yeah,
example.
I was thinking that when you were saying that. Yeah,
it's that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's when you learn enough of these, it starts to become natural, and you figure out because there's certain beats that you want to emphasize, and then certain beats that you want to support, and it all depends on what you're trying to achieve, basically. I'm just gonna play through it just so you get the rest of it, but. Just in case things go
take
crazy.
Some time for me to,
but if you have that kick snare thing going on, you can start to hear at least the rest of it, because at that point when it breaks off into the second section, the bass is really kind of all over the place.
You mean the actual bass?
The actual bass line.
The line,
yeah.
not the piano bass line or the
everything.
Okay,
So but if you have in your head, this is why having the shuffle just innately inside of you makes this all make sense, because if you have that good sense of time, it will sound fine. It will sound totally normal. So from measure 7. Now measure 10, so it's the same thing twice. measure 8 to measure 11, I guess. You just repeat that. And if you want to, actually, it might be easier on measure 10. I'm just going to give you the option of playing D's here. Playing D's here. But then it kind of messes
Do you
things
have
up.
a bass line, you mean?
Yeah, well, maybe.